Hello, mech fans. This is Duncan Fisher. Hold on firmly to your mana potions, fireballs, and familiars, because you are tuning in to your regularly scheduled episode of the First Circuit Podcast.
Tonight's hosts are Ian.
Hello and welcome.
Lars the Casual Mechwarrior.
Hey, what's up?
Fighter.
Log.
And myself, Old Bob 10025. Tonight's events are Mechwarrior Line events, Kickstarter delays, Mechwarrior 5 patch, Mechwarrior 5 download content update coming up soon, Epic has critic scores, and modding. All coming up next.
Okay, so Mechwarrior Online, we only had a very small update. We are having the Shootout 2 event. I know a few of us played this last night on Friday, since today is the recording on the podcast. And I think, if not all of us, but most of us got this event done within like 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, except for me, I only got one done, I think.
I mean, it's not that hard to do.
Thanks.
I still have some things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only time I play is with you guys every 2 weeks, so I'm not going to get this one done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty much you take every mech class, you go ahead and you just play the game, kill some stuff, and you get some pretty decent items actually. I have to log back into the Mechwarrior site real quick.
Well, the Fireball Orange, I think, is one of the colors. Not bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some decals, a good amount of premium time. As always, premium time comes kind of at the end of the event, but
Which is
whatever.
weird.
You have to do a solo kill in every weight class, which is kind of difficult, as I found out, because I'm not good with assault mechs, so this took me the longest.
Yeah, so mostly just C-bills, some premium time, some decal decals, and that color. So if you need an orange color, it's not hard to get it. It's actually, because you're just getting assists to get the orange color. So I would say it's pretty much the main takeaway from that, really. And then of course there is a sale going on, which a lot of things are half off.
For the sale, every mech that has both a regular and a 2C variant, all of those variants are 50% off on both Siebel and MC. There are some decent mechs in there, so now's the time to pick them up. Also, the event is going to take you at least 10 games on average, because you need to accumulate 400 match score, and I feel like 400 is about the average match score you earn.
Yeah.
So,
About that.
10 games.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of all we really got from Mechwarrior Online, guys.
Well, I've been
Nothing
doing
really
a lot,
new.
though. Yeah, I've been doing much
Yeah.
for Mechwarrior, so they've been doing a
It
lot
trundles
of...
along.
Yeah, it trundles
does.
along. I think one of you said everyone left, but they left the lights on, type thing.
Yeah,
Someone said that?
my knowledge.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the personal off, keep the lights running for as long as possible.
Yeah.
I'd say it's pretty accurate.
And John the
Can you
janitor.
imagine this post-apocalyptic landscape and this one office building that still has lights going and the server is still running? And
I'm envisioning a start opening to
Yes.
Fallout.
the year is 3015. Humanity has been dead for 1,000 years. Mechwarrior Online is somehow still trundling along.
Yes, it still moves on. Okay. So I think that's pretty much all we really got from Mechwarrior Online. Again, as always, also do a major update, which that's neither here or to be said from anyone.
All right, so the second topic, the Battletech Kickstarter has been delayed due to certain worldwide events.
What worldwide event
What's
is
that all about? I don't know.
What
I
happened?
haven't bothered reading the thing yet.
Don't get demonetized, because if you say the
Yeah, I know,
word,
don't say
it's like the boogeyman.
It's like the boogeyman. It's like... That's...
The whole world has got the Corona beer.
No,
Ah,
shit!
That sounds
Fuck!
too close to it.
Demonetized.
Damn it, demonetized!
No
Damn it.
money's for Bob. Anyway, so yeah.
Okay.
What do we got going on there, Ian? I see your screen's up.
Yeah, it's the general FYI. We're not quite certain what's going on. The factories are not promising anything before July 2020. Most of the plastic for Wave 1 is done though, so it's hopefully not going to be too much of an impact.
Well, I think the problem is, though, like, most of the stuff is from China. So, like, most of the production and everything else are from China. So they haven't had a lot of production to go build these things in about a certain time. I think it was supposed to come out in April or March,
Much.
like March originally. So with the worldwide events of something bad happening, they basically couldn't build anything. They couldn't get their production done. So yeah, I mean, I can see the point. That's no problem. You know,
Yeah,
but
it's obviously an important point, and I think no one's gonna be mad at it. And they decided they'd rather delay it another month or two than sacrifice quality, which is, in my opinion, the correct decision. So yeah,
oh yeah, yeah.
Kickstarter's gonna be delayed a bit. Happens. One thing that's not delayed though, if you've bought a canon character, you have time until Wednesday to submit your canon character, because then they're gonna close the survey. And if you haven't submitted your canon character by then, you've wasted $200, which would be really sad.
I would love to be part of Blaine Pardew's canon character and have him write me in there. Old Bob, the mercenary merchant guy or something. I don't know, man. It'd be so cool. But well.
In the end, at least with certain worldwide events, you're not going to be doing too much tabletop with other people. So, I mean, it's nice to get the models so you can actually build them and paint them or whatnot, I guess. But yeah, you're not going to be using them other than close friends or family or whatever who are already in your household.
Yeah.
For quite some time.
All right, Ian, what else you got over there?
There's one topic that's really important.
Yes.
This piece of art right here, let me actually open it. It's a slightly bigger.
Yeah.
This piece of art right here from Bishop Steiner is probably the best Battletech art I've seen in a year.
Oh god. Yeah. An Urbie with an AC-20 flying around on a lamb, basically.
Terrifying.
It's the Urbie Land air make. It's beautiful. I want it.
You know, like
seriously, if Catalyst did this as a physical model, I would.
Oh god, yeah. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care how much it costs, man. I would definitely buy that
just
thing.
made it Macross Valkyrie out of the urban mech.
Oh yeah, that's right, huh?
Because look, because the feet trying to land midair, that's freaking Macross.
Yeah.
The Capellans have some kind of interesting tech. They have the Urbie, the Vindicator, Cataphract. I want to sort of see them all have stealth and land air mech capabilities.
When did land air mechs actually get taken out of BattleTech? Was it during the purge? During the
I don't think they ever got taken out. They
Really?
just never proven to be that effective, so no one did any new models.
Okay.
Huh.
I thought they got taken out a
I'm
long
trying
time
to think
ago.
of all this stupid stuff going on in the unnamed ages. I'm fairly certain there's gonna be a land air mech there somewhere.
Probably
That'd be
so.
awesome.
Probably so.
I would love that.
A quad mech is a land air mech. I can
Yeah.
totally see that in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Bishop Steiner. Does some really good artwork, and I'll leave links down below to his Patreon and to his Ko-fi account. So, guys, give him some support if you guys can. He does a beautiful artwork for BattleTech.
He does.
Yeah, very, very nice stuff.
And he could absolutely use your support if you have some.
Yeah, definitely.
spare.
Yeah, definitely. Don't buy a Starbucks coffee. Support him if you guys can. One Starbucks coffee will save a life.
Yeah. Or at least buy him some food.
Or at least buy him some food. Yeah, yeah, true. But yeah, he
I
does
love
some
the
great
fact
stuff.
that he even included like this two sentence lore thingy for.
Oh, we're at?
You're still seeing something that I'm no longer showing. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still seeing the three-parter there.
Let me reshare this.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, they have a small thing in here. Notable pilots: Brian Biltz, Lieutenant of the Federated Suns, nearly graduating from last year's NAMA class. Cadet Biltz was awarded a Fiat Field promotion for his recent work testing the new Urban Mech Lam design. It flies, the newly commissioned Biltz reported, and it walks. Wow!
Nice.
The Urban Mech Lam may be moving into field testing soon, where Lieutenant Biltz will see if he can shoot something. Probably not. The thing will blow apart once he shoots, but hey. I love the design.
Can you imagine the blowback on an AC-20 while you're flying? That'd be crazy.
Oh my god.
There's this one plane that's designed to kill mechs that has this giant.
Oh yeah, it's a
cannon.
civilian. Yeah, it's a civilian
The
one.
one
Yeah.
that literally stands still mid-air from full speed when you start firing the autocannon.
What plane is that? It's a civilian fight. No, it's a conventional fighter, not an aerospace fighter.
It's a conventional fighter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a.
I forgot what mech or what fighter that was. I don't know, like we'll figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There is a fighter with an AC-20 though, but at
Oh,
least
yeah.
that is probably flying a bit faster than a Land Air mech, a Land Urbie.
Anything flies but faster than that Lam Urbie. Come on.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, that was one heck of a post to get on April 1st.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
That was on April
the
1st?
Yeah, that was it. That was the
Okay.
April joke. It's
okay.
not a real thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry too.
But
Well,
I'm
I
not
wanted
gonna
that.
make it.
I wanted the Lam mech, man.
I want it as well, but it's
Everyone
just a
wants
joke.
it.
Well, like like I think Bishop Steiner did the K9. Basically, he made pretty
Yeah.
much the K9. Then Mechwarrior said we're gonna make that, and that's
Mhm.
where the K9
I
came
mean,
from.
Who knows? The Urbie got part of the Kickstarter campaign because people wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Who knows
boy,
what's going to happen?
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
So yeah, speaking of April 1st, did you guys come across any amazing April 1st jokes this year? Because I haven't seen any.
I didn't see any this year.
It's been
Not
really
many.
quiet.
Not really, because people were freaking out about that worldwide thing going on, and so a lot of people didn't. There's a lot of seriousness going online now, so like a lot of people didn't do jokes or anything.
Yeah. It happens though.
Yeah, I watched a channel called what was it, Alternative History Hub, if anyone's heard of that. And what was it? This goes a little into politics, but it was he said, "Oh, what if Trump didn't get elected in 2016?" And he was talking about no, not that other candidate. The what's his name? The Republican candidate. I've already forgotten. His name.
Bush Jr. or his
I
brother or
think it
something
was
like that.
Yeah, like Bush Jr. or whatever.
Yeah.
And
There was
just-
like a bunch of them.
Yeah, there was a ton of them.
And he was just talking about how we were still steered away from his beneficence. He was the god emperor of mankind, and then eventually, it just all turns into Warhammer 40k.
Just yada 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 40k.
40K.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay, so
Yeah,
Yes,
it's why I follow the channel, because
Yeah.
he normally is, diving into lots of stuff like that.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, speaking of not a whole lot going on, we have the Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries patch number 4.
Jeez, what a segue.
No,
Not
our
a
segues
whole
are always
lot.
spot on. All right, for the Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries patch, we finally have the one feature that has been promised forever. The NVIDIA ray tracing is now a thing you can enable. So today I finally had the chance to say RTX on.
Can we see it?
RTX on. Can we see it?
I'm
can we see
gonna
it?
start up the game in the background and,
Okay.
and I'm gonna stream it into Discord.
Oh yeah, it's right, because Ian had to restart his game after doing the whatever.
Because it takes up your whole CPU.
Yeah, GPU. I still have the issue where Mechwarrior 5 takes 100% of my GPU at all
Okay.
times,
Yeah.
which is obviously not ideal. And I just felt my PC getting so hot that I had to shut off
Is
the
that
game.
normal? Is that a glitch, or is that
No,
just because
that
the...
is.
Yeah.
I thought the game was just poorly optimized. Then I
Mhm.
contacted the technical support, and they're like, "Nope, that's not something that should happen." But they weren't able to figure out what's going on, and so far the patches have not fixed it.
It's not a bug, it's the feature. It's your own little toaster oven.
Yeah, I don't need a heater anymore, but
Yeah.
I'm already wearing short pants because temperatures are summer in Germany, so I don't need my heater anymore.
Jeez. Under the summertime in my house, we have our 2 computers like in the living room. So in the living room, it gets so hot, especially with the with the sun and everything. It gets so hot in my house, man. And then having the 2 computers going, oh God,
Oh, that's like this room right now I'm in, because I have
Yeah.
my computer over here and I got the other one back there.
wow, look at that.
Can you guys see how long it takes to load in that?
Oh
mech?
my
Yeah, it's
God,
choppy.
yeah.
Whoa, that took a while to put in all the assets.
For the people that
Yeah.
are listening on SoundCloud, we're seeing the ray tracing for Mechwarrior 5. So just let you
And
know.
what graphics card do you have, Ian?
Yeah, I'm running a RTX 2070, and my game is on average low, with the only tweaked feature being view distance on
Damn.
long. So
Also, real quick, Bob,
Yeah.
in Discord, you're on the pop-out video, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Go ahead and click on
Yeah, I already
the
have it on
top
that.
right hand. Okay,
Got
so
it.
it's on the big screen?
Yeah, on the
Okay.
big screen. Yeah, basically, I figured that out
Perfect.
really quickly. But yeah.
All right.
Oh wow, it
Ooh.
mirrored on the floor.
yeah, so the reflections are actually really good. Like you can even see like this is a proper reflection. Then you have this
Yeah, like kind of
this
diluted
kind of
basically.
opaque thing.
Yeah.
There are,
Yeah.
as Spider noticed, there are panels on the side. Like this is just slightly red. The reflections are really good, but it's not.
It's not worth it
It's
or what?
not. it's not to the point that I would be willing to take the performance hit. Like there's some
I was just gonna
reflections here.
say, is that affecting your performance right now?
Oh, it's hella affecting my performance. I'm barely hitting 30 FPS, and that's in a Mac lab.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
But can you look at
no.
a mech though? Like, go look at a mech. You know, just see how it looks.
I'm gonna
And
look
that's
at
on low, and you're running which graphics card?
RTX 2070, which is the I feel like the 2070 is the mainline graphics card right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most affordable ones. It's one of the, it's still relatively speaking one of the early. Ray tracing is still fairly early days, of course. Which is why the card is sort of struggling a bit. But I think also on top of that is probably Mechwarrior 5's optimization.
Yeah. You know, like I don't see much difference on the mechs though. Like I see a tiny bit of like kind of lighting like issues, you know, or like lighting basically like making it a little bit different.
The
But,
reflections
yeah,
would be more
reflections.
accurate
yeah.
according to
Did
the
you
light
see
source.
that arm just go right for the cockpit of that Battlemaster? Oof.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
Oops.
God.
I saw that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely lighting is. If you have it side by side, it's visibly better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you can only see what you're seeing right now, where I stream the game, it's probably not going to be much of a difference to see.
Mhm.
The reflections are amazing, but again, not worth the performance hit. The shadows are, if you really pay attention, they are noticeably more crisp, but also
Mhm.
eh. And I tried starting up the game, but the performance was so terrible, I wasn't even able to properly compare it. But as I said last episode, my guess is you're not going to notice a difference given the fact that you're focusing on the 200 tanks coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mechwarrior 5 was one of those early games to adopt ray tracing and show it off as a tech showcase. So
Yeah.
they've after all these months they finally put it into the game. So they've lived up to their promises eventually.
You know, what do you think actually the probability of people actually using ray tracing like in MechWarrior 5? You know, how many people will use it?
So right now it's a question of whether you even have the hardware for it. And that really just depends on your own personal
Yeah.
computer and whatnot. And as I
Yeah.
said, at least for the relatively affordable cards like the 2070, they might still struggle.
Mhm.
So you'll get a good performance if you got like a Titan or something that you're spending thousands on your graphics card.
Titan RTX or the 2080 Ti.
Yeah.
Both of which are well above 1,000. I think they're 1,500 up.
Jesus Christ.
Depending on
Mhm.
where you live.
So
And
Yeah.
also
okay.
European hardware is always a lot more expensive than US hardware. So
Yep.
for us, it's even more. So
Jeez.
going by that, even if like I think if you have a 2080 Ti or a Titan RTX for whatever reason, you might as well just enable the feature because it should be fine on your hardware. If
Yeah.
you're running a 2070 and lower, even if you can technically enable it, it's probably not gonna be worth it at all.
Will it work on a TRS 80?
What now?
Don't worry, it's a bad joke.
Okay.
Yeah,
not.
basically what reason why I asked that was that it's kind of like what they did with Solaris, the same thing. Spent all this time and effort to make this, and then it turns out to be like only 10 people actually use it, type thing. So with that, basically you're talking about like the ray tracing and all that kind of stuff. You got to have a super machine just to go run this thing, have it optimized,
Yeah, from within PGI's offices, I would say, it will be the technical guys, the ones who are, going into the engine and optimizing things. Their time, at least for the last few months, have been spent implementing this and the other changes. So if they weren't implementing this, they obviously would have had more times to optimize the game.
Yeah. See, like that's the thing with like the mode in MechWarrior Online. Like it was cool, it was awesome, it was really cool, but no one did it because it was just like something no one really wanted per se, and they should have actually did something else with it.
Though, I'm fairly certain, given that Mechwarrior 5 was featured all the way back on the ray tracing reveal, that Nvidia has shelled out some money to get
That's
PGI
true.
to show.
That's true.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a budgetary impact to have it in.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
workforce impact, definitely.
That makes sense. Actually, that makes sense
Yeah.
if they got some money for that because they want to showcase it.
Yeah, so right now it's kind of limited who can actually make use of this technology, but who knows, in the next couple of decades, most cards will have this technology, we'll be able to optimize this technology, and therefore everybody will actually be able to benefit from it, hopefully.
30 years from
I
now,
think,
MechWarrior 6. You get to use ray
Mechwarrior.
tracing.
Yeah, Mechwarrior 5.5 with the clan new game / super DLC. Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah, I'm personally wondering. I'm not too deep into the technical side of ray tracing. I just roughly understand how it works. So I'm kind of wondering if you implement ray tracing right now, if it's going to be compatible with the AMD version that does basically the same thing, because if they are kind of like the NVIDIA GeForce thing for monitors, if they're kind of similar, FreeSync and G-Sync. So if you implement it once and it works on all things, then it might be a great groundwork to have in the engine. But if you have to re-implement it for the AMD version, then it's obviously going to be probably not worth the effort.
Yeah.
I'm way out of my depth, but I would say at least they're not necessarily going to share code because both of these are sort of mathematical tricks. So it's kind of like a format war that both of them are going to try and come up with their most efficient code, and one of them will turn out to be the winner, and that'll be adopted across the board. And that will take a while to really shake out. And for that while anyway, most people are not affording cards that can really run these games at the best settings anyway.
Yeah, so for now, personally, I'm going to be on the side of Team Wet, even though AMD graphics cards are kind of subpar still and are probably going to be subpar for a while. I'm personally counting on the AMD version of ray tracing in the near future, simply because NVIDIA cards are way too expensive for my taste.
They are.
But
Very
AMD has
expensive.
fallen behind in the race thus far, and we need competition. And we have to root for the underdog in that way.
So yeah, ray tracing in Mechwarrior 5, it's now a thing. If you want to test it, go ahead and test it. Personally, I think it's a screenshot feature and not too much else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be like ray tracing just going to be the bestest in sort of games with lots of lighting effects, like horror games, or just sort of where you're in caves or whatnot, like Minecraft or whatever people love doing that.
Yeah, low fidelity, high atmosphere games.
Whereas with Mechwarrior Online, usually, Mechwarrior 5 at least, the majority of the environments are very well lit.
Yeah.
So all you're sort of getting is reflections or shiny surfaces, and it's nice. But really, you want a horror game type situation.
Well, who knows? Maybe this is the groundwork for a night combat DLC.
That would be interesting. DLC for nighttime.
We know PGI, it would be a DLC, of course it would be. But I'll be completely honest, if they implemented some proper night maps, and if they did the lighting right, I would be willing to give money for that.
My only thing is that these are supposed to be advanced mechs, and they have night vision. I think isn't there the option for night vision, or is it thermal vision?
Yes.
It's only one vision mode.
Night vision, not thermal.
Yeah.
That's
So you can do nighttime, but then most people are just going to always turn to night vision, which
but
kind
also
of
tanks.
the whole point.
Tanks are kind of primitive in 3025, and they use floodlights a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the idea of Mechwarrior 5, but it's in the dead of night, and it's kind of like a horror experience where you only have a flashlight. You can only see, 300 meters ahead of you or whatever in the game scale.
That would be fun.
Basically, your night vision has been disabled, so you have to use your floodlight.
Yes.
like the proper Warhammer with the big floodlight, like on the right shoulder. So yeah. But then you go, hey, look, there's a Warhammer. So the floodlight's here, so obviously I'm going to shoot right here. Type of thing. I'm going to shoot just to the right of floodlight.
Yeah.
Or just
But you can orchestrate it like you do a nighttime raid mission whereupon vehicles are ready to sort of go, like you do the cartoony kind of thing where they're all not really aware that you're arriving, but they're already in the vehicles. So it's just you always have the element of surprise. But once the alarm is raised, it's a fight in the dark kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes, in 3025, they don't have technology to go look in the dark.
Yeah.
Look.
Need those floodlights.
You couldn't detect that huge dropship coming nearby. No radar or anything.
It just teleported in. How should they know? Jump drives are a thing. Maybe it's a prototype jump drive on a dropship.
Teleporting. Okay, and our next topic.
Is there anything else to that Mechwarrior 5 patch? Or is it just RTX?
We had
fixes for the mod editor and a small guide how to properly update your mods. Basically, TLDR, back up your files.
Yeah.
As you always should.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we are talking about DLC, we got a tweet from Russ saying that he will talk with his people to maybe give us an update about the April DLC. Oh, it's already mid-April, so yeah, I would hope that we're getting some
Yeah.
news on that DLC
Yeah, I
soon.
know.
He posted that on April 4th.
Yeah.
Been about a week.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have some news on the DLC. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe it will just drop in 2 days. And
How do you think they're going to actually do the announcement type thing? Are they go through No Guts No Galaxy, or are they just going to do some podcast or something?
Not through No Guts No Galaxy, at least since they aren't,
Yeah.
No.
working together like that anymore. I mean,
Might be
No
through
Guts No
Discord.
Galaxy won't mind, shouting out the message, I guess. But yeah, they're going to have it shout out on their own Twitter, I imagine. I hope.
Well,
I would say
I would,
there's
I
Twitter
would
or Discord.
assume a post on the Mechwarrior 5 side, probably a cross post on Mechwarrior Online, and
Oh,
a
yeah,
post
yeah,
on
yeah,
Twitter.
true.
Mhm.
I don't see them doing a release stream,
No.
which is a
It all-
shame, but I just don't see it happening.
It all depends on how far they've come, really. Like, with Russ saying he's going to talk to his team and whatnot, it could still be kind of early days or something. Like, they might release at the end of the month, which means he and a developer sit down, doing a quote unquote AMA or, just a little chat about the DLC, mid April, and then end of April next month it comes out.
I don't think they
Yeah,
have
for
the
the- for the-
clans like ready yet, though.
For the actual announcement, I think at most we're gonna get a sponsored streamer, and focuses on singular.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they had sponsored streamers whenever they released the game. Remember that?
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah, they
They
did.
had,
I-
yeah, they had streamers.
I'm gonna
who
be completely
were-
honest. I don't remember a single name.
I
It
mean,
was
I
like
don't remember any of the names honestly either, but they had gotten some people who were like bigger name streamers because they got them because it would be a guaranteed large audience to get the game out there.
yeah, they might have sponsor streamers that oh yeah, I'll run it for X amount of dollars, and then they go off to do something else. Not really like
Yeah.
people in the community type thing.
One big question I have would just be how Epic Game Store handles it and how it handles advertising in regards to DLC. Because, that was a big reason why they went exclusive. So will the DLC be given front page, or do you have to click onto the game and then click to subheading something to find the DLC? How accessible will it be on the website?
Well, the DLC for the
that's-
game called Survival, I think, they put it on the main page. They have like DLCs for that, post-apocalyptic
Okay.
game. So
On my store, I don't see any DLCs. Oh, never mind. Add-on is now available for Control the Foundation. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so they have sliders for it.
Yeah. So they will
And-
actually
and
advertise
they
a
have
little
so many pop-ups. I hate the pop-ups from Epic Game Store.
bit.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the store sucks. Basically, the store sucks is trying to find your stuff.
Hey, and speaking about the store, our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Segway is on point today.
Segway, yeah.
Damn.
All right.
The Epic Store has critic reviews built into the store page from a site we've never heard of, OpenCritic.
Yeah, apparently a site that was founded by someone who at some point worked for Wild Games. So yay, big names. They're all really young.
But pretty much on this OpenCritic site so far since December, the critics give it a fair rating with a top critic average of 71 out of 100, with about 56% of the critics actually saying to go ahead and play this from their recommendations. So very, very much middle of the line.
Yeah.
Which is about right.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much like in my review, I gave it about a 6 out of 10 though. And these guys give it like an 8.1, 8 out of 10, and like 80 out of 100. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if these guys are like really, really into BattleTech, which I don't think they are because they play a billion different other types of games. But who knows? Who knows? I don't know how much time they spent.
The one thing that's also interesting though, if you look, I mean, these are professional critic reviewers from, online websites or magazines.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
most of so all the reviews aren't from people who have, been in the fan base and who play the game regularly.
Yeah.
These are probably more like reviews from people who played for about a month's time or less, and put
Less.
Less.
or less,
Usually,
yes.
Usually we do like reviews. You only do it for like maybe 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3 hours.
It's 4 to 8 if you want to write.
Okay, it's 4 to 8. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 4 to 8.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of time to actually get to know the game and figure out the nuances and everything else
Mm.
too.
And you also have to consider the reviews they're showing on top on the Epic Game Store. Obviously, the top reviews, because of course they want to sell games. The
Mhm.
average is still at a 5.6 out of 10. So the 8 out of 10 and 8.1 out of 10 is not really representative of the average.
Yeah, so sort of comparing this to Steam's presentation, the reviews, you have to actually scroll a fair bit down past like the editions and follow us to actually finally get to the ratings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily with Steam, when you hover your mouse over the game, it shows the rating. The rating is shown on the right-hand side, showing not just all the reviews, but also recent reviews. And obviously in Steam, it's user reviews predominantly, whereas this is predominantly, if not all, entirely just critic reviews, which is often a very different critics and users. It's good to usually actually look at both just to get a
Yeah.
more full picture.
Yeah.
And on average, I prefer users since those are the
Same
people
with me
actually playing
too.
the game.
Yeah.
Now, Ian, actually, if you go ahead on your page and go ahead and click on View All Reviews, and then at the very, very top, you can actually change it to a chart view, which is kind of interesting. See the big old blue button there at the very top?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this might give you a better viewpoint.
This is interesting. Open Critics is sponsored by Patreon. Interesting.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
So yeah, Epic has chosen a really young site for this one.
Yeah. So yeah, it's early days still for the Epic Game Store, and they're slowly catching up. I think it's on Steam as well. They have the graphs, they have things showing like how many hours the reviewer has actually played and
Mhm.
things like that. And for them, it's usually just an up or a down thumb, and it's just the balance of thumbs. But yeah, at least for those who are stuck at the Epic Game Store trying to buy the exclusives there, more information is welcome than having to always search it yourself, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's there, but then I think if we want to move on to the other site, which I think most of us are more familiar with, is Metacritic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, on this one, we have both critics and user reviews. The critics are mostly mid-range or positive. User reviews is quite a mixed bag.
5.1. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's also the distribution. There's a lot of people, there's a fair number of people who give very positive scores. There's a fair number of people who give very negative scores, and there's a middling amount who give middling scores for user reviews.
Yep.
But yeah, with Metacritic, with this other open critic site, the official critics, the professional reviewers who only often will only just play it for a few hours, they're giving the game a score around 70. But for users, it's averaged out instead to be about 5. And that kind of scoring, as we can see through the timeline, it's staying fairly consistent. There's still fanboys and there's still heavy critics of the game coming out months after launch, and praising it to high heaven or criticizing it to high hell, or low hell in this case.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's mostly sort of it's remained quote unquote divisive, but in this case, it's just it's a fairly niche game, and I think a lot of people are disappointed, and a lot of people, of course, want to not see it given an even lower score than it has right now.
I do find it interesting that it's still this polarizing. I honestly expected the user reviews to go to at some point idle in on a point where everyone can agree on, but it's still like 0 and 9. It's still this
Yeah.
giant rift.
Yeah, it's just how things go. I mean, at this point, it's a funny thing. Like, how many people are really streaming things like Mechwarrior 5 on
Not a
Twitch
lot.
right now? It's just not that many. So the trickle that we're getting right now could, like, I don't think it's necessarily that many people talking about or really engaging with the game anymore. So you're either a hardcore fan and like usually I think it's just a trickle of mech dads who are finding out about the game, that they haven't been kept fully in the loop. But some, they try it out and they go, oh yeah, we're gonna support Mechwarrior, and the others try it out and go, this is not what I asked for. I never asked for this.
This is not my Mechwarrior 2 I've played back in the good old
Exactly.
days.
Exactly.
Also, Ian, do us a quick favor as well, just for the hell of it, because it's been years. But do a search for Mechwarrior Online on Metacritic, and let's see what we get.
I'm gonna actually. Oh, there we go. Mechwarrior for Mercenaries has a score of 83. That's appropriate. That's a really good game. Mechwarrior Online has 68.
Yeah, 68, 5.3 user score. Damn.
Ooh. Let's check how many recent reviews there are of Battletech.
Yeah, that's really the part we want to look at is the recent reviews.
So Mechwarrior Online has got a similar rating as Mechwarrior 5 as far as the users are concerned. And critics didn't like it quite as much on launch.
Wow, the first page of user reviews for Mechwarrior Online is all bad. Damn.
Are you under date or
No, not
He's
under
under
date.
most helpful, and most helpful is the ones that are given the most upvotes, typically, I think.
Yeah, probably so. How do we change the date on that? Oh, okay, by date.
There's a tab. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, but
there's
the
a tab.
most helpful is a 2 score of 2. Wow. Ouch.
Okay, by date November 17th, 2019. That's the last one. Holy cow.
Even going by most recent reviews, you know, it's 7901082.
20410.
It's very polarized, just again. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's crazy.
I love Joey here's review. Play this nice ass game. It's free to play. Play to win. Play this is that over and over again.
Spoiled gamer. It's pay to win. What? No, it's not.
People still say that, even though you can you can definitely find some mechs to buy on C-bills and still.
I mean,
do well.
Kanakashi did a whole freaking series of just not paying any money for the game and doing really well. I mean, really, really well. Like with his non-pay-to-win mechs and everything.
I'm just gonna put in my accounts that I've spent 0 money on have all 5 hero mechs.
Yeah.
So you really don't need to spend money.
You don't need to spend money. I think there is an issue with getting into the game, whereupon you have no mechs. The trial mechs suck.
Yeah.
And even when you do buy a mech, it's got a terrible loadout and costs even more money to fit out correctly and to skill up. So you're always sort of at a disadvantage for quite some time early on. If you do spend money early on, you can buy a fully kitted out champion mech and you can buy all the skill points you need to skill it out, boom, instantly. So early game, there is an argument at least you can pay to catch up with everybody else. But beyond that, at least as long as you put in the time, and it's not necessarily that much time because the cadet bonus, you are able to at least catch up with a couple of mechs.
I mean, if you just do a little bit of research, basically go on the forums, stuff like that, ask, hey, what's a good mech for the clans? What's a good mech for the sphere? You could go, okay, well, I'll go use that mech. Like, instead of just like, I'm gonna buy this mech because it looks cool, and you find out that mech's horrible, type thing. So it just takes a little bit of research to actually get good. Get good. GITG. Yeah, okay.
But I thought it was interesting just to kind of go back and take a look at the reviews of both of these games just to see how they fared, and they are pretty much not equal, but
Also, a question, at least with the guy talking about it's pay to win, he's referring to new mechs that come out in the game are always more overpowered. Now, the question is, this review was written January 14th, 2017.
Oh, so, God. Yeah.
The question is, what mechs came out around that time? And were they overpowered? Because there were a couple of times, like mechs when the Kodiak came out, that it just suddenly there were Kodiaks everywhere and they were dominating the game. And if somebody at that point writes that review, he isn't too wrong, since obviously a free-to-play player cannot get a Kodiak at all, not even with saved up MC. They have to buy it through the mech packs. Nowadays, of course, that critique does not apply whatsoever because there aren't any new mech packs to be OP.
Plus, also 2 months later, it does come out as a as like a C-bills, so it doesn't really matter. And the only ones that don't come up are the champion and the hero packs.
It would be a concern though that if every month there was a new mech pack coming out and that mech was always the new flavor that was really OP. Like even though the OP mechs, like the thing with the Kodiak was it was really overpowered, and then he nerfed its torso agility and stuff so that people played it less. Well, by the time the mech becomes available for C-bills, those overpowered mechs have been balanced. Then it means, it is pay to win because you have to pay money to get the new mechs, which are always OP, and by the time they come available to everyone, they are balanced out and are mediocre. But this is talking about ancient history at this point, and it wasn't always the case, honestly.
Yeah, because I'm looking right now. It's like that year was the Hellspawn.
Was it? Oh,
was one of
okay, yeah.
Because
Yeah, it
that's
was-
around January.
I'm
His
just running through all
experiences
the
will be from the
forums.
year before.
So yeah, so if we go to the hell spawning, then go to the store, anything before that would probably be right about that time. So Thanatos,
Really?
Piranha.
Well, the Piranha was pretty
Piranha.
OP.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep, Piranha was OP.
Yeah.
That would give that impression. I would agree with
Yeah.
that. in this
especially when it
case.
first came out.
Like the big offenders are Kodiak, Piranha, Nightyear a bit as well. I think had issues.
Is that when the Clan 2C Heroes came out?
I don't know. I don't
I
remember.
think that may have been
Mm.
when those may have came out.
No, I mean you can see the audio the packs are in on the MechWarrior Online website, the store,
Yeah,
because
that's
you
what
know
I'm
they're
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Civil War Escalation. Oh, the Clan 2C Heroes came out, after Thanatos, after Escalation. So,
I'm actually checking a few of my older videos from back then too, as well, to see
yeah.
when I released some shit posts about some stuff back then. Let's take
God.
a look here.
But yeah, this is all old news. When it was back in the day, they were complaining about mechs that came out that were too strong, which is why the most recent mechs have always been kind of mediocre, which put all the pay-to-win claims to bed. But unfortunately, it meant we weren't really interested in any mechs other than like maybe the Corsair or Warhammer 2C recently.
Well,
Yeah,
the game is not really pay to play, basically, or pay to win, basically type thing, because you really don't have to spend the money. Basically, you just don't have to have that, I guess, complete competitive, type thing that you got to win at all costs. Just play the damn game, basically, and over time, just like any type of game now, is always grind, and you got to grind for the C-bills, and then events, grind for the events, because that's what I used to do. I used to grind the events like crazy to get MC to go buy the hero mechs, and that's what I did, because I didn't have money back then. Basically, I don't have money now, but but like still, it's just I used to do that constantly just to grind that MC so I could go buy the cool stuff, and that's what I think people don't understand. They don't want to grind; they just want to go ahead and do their stuff. And I was halfway decent. I wasn't the best in the world, but I had fun. I had a great time.
So I'm going back on one of our old podcasts. It's actually podcast 20.
Oh my God.
This is December of 2017. That's when they announced the Sunspider, and that's when they were giving out the Roughneck free hero mech back then.
Oh, that was during MechCon, wasn't it? Was the first MechCon? The first one or second one?
Second one, because that's when
First one was Roughneck. Second one was Sunspider, wasn't it?
Okay, I went to the Sunspider one, so yeah.
So that's when they released that's when they announced the Sunspider, and we all got that hero one early. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was December of 17. So if you're on the store, anything like before that, it's pretty much where they're saying pay to win. So.
Damn. But not really. I mean, just play the game. Just grind it like all other games.
I mean, that was a very common phrase you would hear a lot back then. So.
Yeah. It was always a mixed bag on how the mechs turned out. And some were OP, but they got nerfed. And in the end, the overall experience, if you're playing day to day, has always just been, it's relatively balanced within PGI standards, and it's not pay to win.
Well, okay, look at it like this. Pay to win, $500 gold mechs. As soon as you walk on the battlefield, everyone jumps you. So I don't think it's pay to win there. So,
Of course not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just Epic Game Store, including reviews. The review system is only showing official critics. You have to actually scroll down, sort of, to find it. It tries to paint Mechwarrior 5 in the best light, but it's still kind of an average light, which in some ways is what you want to tell people, that Mechwarrior 5 is kind of average. And at least as far as the user reviews go, I think they're fairly, they're always fairly mixed with PGI's products.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I should check Steam reviews. Recently, they've been very positive, but on average, it's been mostly positive.
I think a lot of people have burnout from playing the games so much.
That's what happens a lot.
Yeah, basically with any type of game, you get burnout. I had that with Star Trek Online, and now Mechwarrior Online, I got burnout because I'm literally, like Larch knows this, we sat through hours and hours and hours of footage, and we played games. Hey guys, can you help me with some footage? Doing that, and oh man, and then the editing and everything else, and then playing the game.
Tons of fun. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong.
No, yeah,
I loved the last 3 years of making those. Those were a hell of a
Yeah.
time. But damn, it became a chore.
Yeah, basically like after a while it does become a chore. But yeah, just like you said, I really enjoyed making up the videos and thinking about ideas and all that kind of stuff. It was great. But with every type of game, when you have streamers or Twitch streamers, like whatever, and YouTubers, they constantly do something, they get burnout, and you could tell. And I mean, like I could tell myself, I definitely had some burnout there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the reviews on Steam are pretty fair.
On Steam, they're pretty fair.
Yeah, they are mostly accurate and they reflect recent issues. They also reflect recent strengths. So yeah, if for some reason you're tuning in and have no idea how Mechwarrior Online is, go ahead and look at the reviews on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steam is the sort of gold standard that Epic Games Store has to slowly catch up with. But hey, we'll get to see the proper review system in hopefully it's 8 months.
Do you guys think we're gonna see a proper review system before we see workshop support?
Or on Epic Games Store?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I would say that you get a proper review system and workshop support when it comes out at early access on next year, or the end of this December when it goes out on Steam, if it goes out on Steam.
Steam.
Right.
I think after Steam.
I think I agree on that one too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, guys, but I think that may end it for our list of topics, since we could totally go on. But I think next week, or no, not next week, but next podcast, stay tuned for some things on modding. We're going to actually revisit that with some other topics, which, because we could keep talking forever about that. So, in this case, this has been Ian.
It has been me indeed.
Oh my god. And Old Bob.
Hello. Hey, goodbye.
And a biter.
Lark.
And myself. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Lark, Lark.
Bye.